Hello, everyone, and welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Dave, that's Scott, and I just want to take 2 seconds. Thank you very much, Scott. Just want to take 2 seconds to thank everybody for watching us. I know it's, there's so much stuff out there to watch, so many other things to listen to. We appreciate your time. I know sometimes my humor, I'm sure, misses you entirely. Sometimes Scott's humor might miss you, but that's same as my humor missing you. But I appreciate you being here, laughing, chuckling, listening to me laugh, listening to Scott laugh. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Have a nice day, folks.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the new subscribers as well on our YouTube channel. Thanks for finding us and hitting the subscribe button. Anybody else, please do us a favor. Give us a rating on wherever the podcast is that you're downloading it. Help us be found. So thanks for joining in. Hope you're enjoying what you have. And even if you're not, drop us a line. This show is our opinion, and we can get a bit crotchety and curmudgeon-y from time to time. And I just got to say, when I look back at the shows, we're 105, well over 105 episodes now, and that have actually been released by the time we're recording this. I look back at some of the ones that I was exceptionally harsh on, and a few of them I've softened. I since fallen in love with Plan 9 from Outer Space, but I will never be able to get behind Night of a Thousand Cats ever. Or the Star Wars Holiday Special is still kind of better, but not by much. It is still worse. I know. So anyway, as I said, we just like to talk about movies. We spoil them. We just, if you want to join us in chat, please do. Let us know if there's something you want to hear us bitch about. So
to change the subject real quick, I didn't clear this with you, and I should have, but I'm going to do it anyway. I work at a store, at a place in the universe, and started talking to another guy that works there. And he has a podcast himself, and his friends. And the podcast goes by the Short Track Guys. And it is a podcast literally about short track racing.
Very cool.
They went out to what is that? I want to say the Snowball 500 during the wintertime down on Pine Forest.
Yeah. The Snowball Derby.
They go there, and they I don't know a whole lot about it. I know of it. I've watched a little bit of racing on TV like that. But some of the stuff that they were talking about, it just got me interested. Like I'm sitting there listening to this like, oh, well, yeah, that makes complete sense. And I'm a guy who doesn't understand jack diddly spot. I did have to ask him a couple of questions about torque and using the lug nuts on the car. But that was just my thing because I must have missed something. One of the other guys that he does the show with has a fishing charters and can'tquitfishing.com. There you go. There's your plug, guys. Thanks for watching and listening and talking to me about this. I appreciate it. That's my plug for.
Well, what was the name of that? The Short Track what?
The Short Track Guys.
Short Track Guys, okay.
And they're on Spotify. That's where I went through. I don't know whether they're on any other podcast.
They're on Apple as well.
They're on Apple, okay.
And I will give them a subscribe and a listen. So
I have them through Spotify, and I don't know about the charters, but the fishing charters. I mean, I might call them. That's for anybody that's watching.
Very cool. Can't quit fishing.
It's cheap. Those are my cheap graphics. I use the koozie. They printed a koozie. I want to get us some koozies, dude. This is I like that.
I like koozies.
Koozies are nice. All right, that was my plug-in for somebody else. The movie that we are going to do is the Poseidon Adventure. It is another Irwin Allen movie.
Yes.
Holy crap. Leslie Nielsen is the captain of the Poseidon. When I saw him, I thought to myself, why didn't the brothers that did the airplane movies do a shipwreck movie and use him as the captain of the ship? It would have been hysterical. Because there were at least twice on the bridge of that ship where somebody says something to him, and I expected him to turn around and have, a comment. Like the one time the guy calls, "Look out, Captain." I was waiting for him to go, "Look out for what?" or have him duck down. But it looks like he's telling him the lookout is on the line.
One of the things, and that's exactly what I thought. I saw Leslie Nielsen, and it brings me back when I see him now in these earlier movies to
Right.
the Forbidden Planet, was it?
Yeah, Forbidden Planet. What a great movie, folks.
Oh God, yes.
So review of that. That's terrific.
Absolutely. That's like to me the beginning of a lot of sci-fi TV there.
Oh yeah.
But when the young boy came up to see the cabin,
yeah,
all I could think of is that scene in Airplane. You like gladiator movies, Timmy? You ever seen a grown man naked? You know.
You ever been to a Turkish prison?
Turkish bath.
Like,
yeah.
But what I liked is that little kid. I forgot the little boy's name. I'll find it eventually. I have everybody up on my screen right now. Eric Shea? Was that the little boy?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, the little kid gets on to the bridge, and while he's going up the stairs to the bridge, there's literally like hurricane force winds, not just knocking the shit out of Poseidon. I mean, you see the ship lurching and rolling, and this kid's climbing up the stairs. I'm like, what the hell is this little kid doing? Why is this little kid on deck? Where the hell are this kid's parents? They never answer the question of my later question. But he bursts into the bridge. The wind just blows this kid in like nothing. He's falling all over the place. The kid's like, what the hell? What are you doing on the bridge? And the kid stands up. He's got this big smile on his face. He said, you told me to come up whenever I had time. Well, here I am. And the captain's like, and you see Leslie Nielsen's character just wants to yell at this kid.
Yeah.
But he realizes that that's what he told the kid. Anytime you want to come up.
Yeah.
He just picked a really bad time. So he's just like, okay, yeah, I did tell you that. And they're sitting there talking, and the kid's looking at the waves. He's like, that's got to be a good 90-foot wave, 60-foot wave, 20. You know, the kid's naming the waves, and the kid's smart. He read all the tech books and whatever he could find on the Poseidon. He's talked to the engineers that are on the ship. So later on, when the kid starts talking about things on the ship, he knows of which he speaks because he's talked to engineers that are on that were on the Poseidon that gave him. I think the one guy gave him a tour of the engine.
Yeah, he had a tour of the.
It's
of the
finished
ship.
right here. You know, if anything happens, this is the blah blah blah. So he's the one that says we need to go back to the shafts because the metal's only an inch thick there. Anywhere else along the front, they're not going to be able to cut through. And everybody's looking at him. How do you know this, kid? And he just tells them like, well, I did this, this, and this. And everybody's just looking at the kid like, okay, that actually sounds like a plan. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I want to go off of that because I know there might be some people watching this and they're going to side with Ernest Borgnine's character, where he was just so he was, piss off kid. How could you know this? Yeah. But I absolutely believe the kid did because even when I was that age, I was so into airplanes. I could tell you stats, specs, all kinds of stuff. And, there's kids will tell you everything about a dinosaur and all the bits and pieces. And if they're into it, they're into it. This kid was very believable. As far as his parents, he was with his sister. It appeared they were traveling somewhere to meet their parents. So they were on the ship alone.
Because I wasn't sure because they never showed the parents and they were never talking about the parents. And I didn't know if the preacher was taking them to the parents because the girl knew the preacher and she had a crush on him. Yeah. So Gene Hackman's character was.
I have to say something. Gene Hackman blew me away in this movie.
I know. There was one scene that brought up my thought of the birdcage, where his character in the birdcage is talking about the foliage. Oh. and the leaves and the changing of the color. And there's just one conversation he's having, and he hits that tone. The words are not the same, but the tone is very,
right. It brought you to there.
It's the rhythm, and I just started laughing. I was like,
"Oh my god!"
Foliage and the drive, and Kat just started laughing. I'm like, "Thank God, I wasn't the only one who caught that."
Oh, that's awesome.
What he's saying is very important, but the timbre and everything just right into that scene for whatever reason. Shall I go down the list real quick?
Yeah, because there's some great performances and great actors in this movie.
This was done in what, 72? 1972?
72. So this is before the Towering Inferno. I do have to say something before you go down the list.
Go ahead.
I do find it interesting that this is the same. The Towering Inferno follows a similar setup. This is the story of a cruise ship that's on its final voyage. It's heading to a scrapyard. Somebody's bought it and they're ready to salvage it. And they're in such a hurry that it costs money if they go too slow. So he's pushing this ship harder than it should be. And actually, I'm sure contributes to them capsizing because the captain says, hey, we got to take on more ballast. This is ridiculous. And he's like, no, full throttle. And well, there we go. So it reminded me of that. But yeah, with the cast there.
Yeah. The funny thing or the cool thing about this is as a kid growing up, I knew who every one of these actors and actresses was. They were in every movie. They were on Fantasy Island. They were on Love Boat. They were on.
Oh my God!
There was a television series on that was mostly detective shows. These folks always showed up in detective shows.
Yeah,
as the murderer, the murderess, the murdered person. Person of suspicion. These were all big stars. I mean, if you seen one of them on the road back in the day, you would have melted. They're not like the people nowadays where I just would bump into them and be like, get out of my way. These were people that I would actually stop and want to talk to. And we'll start off the cast with Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Ernest Borgnine, which I was amazed at how big his arms were.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he's reaching out of the water and he pulls himself up and he's just ripped. And I looked over at Kat and said, I never knew that about Ernest Borgnine. He just always looked like he was so heavy, but he's not even that heavy. Like when you see him coming out of the water, he's not a big, fat guy. I just always figured he was a 400-pound guy.
Hey, I'm having a brain fart. Was he in All Quiet on the Western Front?
Yeah, he was the sergeant or the corporal. The guy that he was carrying on the back.
Yeah.
That's Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, oh man. Yeah.
Red Buttons was in stuff from the 20s, I think. He was like a child actor, and he was an actor all the way into the 80s. Like I don't know when he passed away, but yeah, he was around forever. Carol Lindley, I think that was the singer.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Noni or whatever her name.
I may have gotten my people mixed up. I think Carol Lindley was Nani Perry. That was
that was the singer.
That was the singer. Roddy McDowell, who was probably in every major motion picture and in every television series on television in the decade of the 70s, and about half of the ones in the 60s, and a bunch in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
The guy was in everything. Everybody loved him. He was such a good actor. If you don't know exactly who Roddy McDowell is, if you watched the Planet of the Apes series, the original movies, he was in every single Planet of the Apes. He was Caesar. He was the one who grows up to become Caesar. He was Cornelius, the Dr. Cornelius when they come back in time. That's what starts the whole universe. Yeah, he was in every one of them. It's amazing. Stella Stevens, Linda Rogo. That was the I guess she was an ex.
I gotta hold you here. I looked her up and everything because I just loved her performance in this and just her the energy between her and her husband Ernest Borgnine. This is great. This is an old detective. She's an ex-prostitute, and he kept arresting her to keep her off the street till he could figure out how he was going to get her to marry him. I love that story. It was great, and she was just like, she was so over him. It's like, God damn, man. It was great. They had great chemistry.
The one time they're talking, she's like, we should have flown.
Yeah.
She's like, I was trying to be romantic. Shelley Winters. By her own account, I used to watch her on Johnny Carson all the time. That's how old I am, folks. Johnny Carson was the Late Show, the only late show on TV, and he was great. But she would sit there and talk about all the affairs she had, all the men she slept with. I mean,
wow.
Basically, she would talk about
back then. Oh my God, scandal!
She did not care. She did not care whose name she dropped, where she dropped it, or who she dropped it on. But my God, this woman is such a good actress. Absolutely. Such a good actress. I don't ever remember seeing her in any movie that I went, nah, I'm not buying it.
There's a scene with her that I just laughed, and they come back to it when she's trying to climb up the tree because the ship is capsized.
Yeah.
And the little boys, don't worry, we'll be able to pull you up. I helped my dad pull up 600-pound swordfish, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And so later he comes back and says, I really didn't mean that.
Yeah. And the kid realizes what it sounded like he was saying to her. All he was trying to tell her was how strong he was.
We got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We got you. And when he goes back, he's like, I wasn't calling you fat. What was her name? Miss Rosen. I wasn't calling you fat. I just meant, she's like, it's okay, dear. Like, her mind is already past that.
I want to talk about Shelley Winters in this, and her performance is very subtle. You see so much in this woman's face, and as she's coming to terms with everything, and when she made that final decision to save Gene Hackman, and it was a very heroic and touching moment. And then she dies afterwards. She gave everything to save him and get the people out,
but just save everyone else.
When you could tell she knew she wasn't going to make it several times, you could see it when it crossed her face, and it's like, damn, she was
definitely
great.
Knew she was not going to make it. She just didn't know where she was going to buy it. Yeah, but she knew she could save Gene Hackman and get everybody else out. Yeah, and that's a powerful scene because she's happy. She's like, yeah, we did it, and then Gene Hackman just turns his back on her, and you see her whole face. I mean, dude, her face went white. I don't know how the hell an actor or an actress does that. I haven't seen anybody of that kind of caliber.
She could die, man.
She died. I mean, she died on camera, literally. I mean, her face went white.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
And she just falls back in the water, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, Gene, turn around. She might really be drowning.
We're spoiling the hell out of the Poseidon Adventure. Not everybody lives, just so you know.
Yes, not everybody lives in this
barely
one.
Anybody makes it out of this one.
Jack Albertson as her husband, Manny Rosen.
Yeah.
Pamela Sue Martin was Susan Shelby.
That's the boy's sister.
That's who that was. I was looking at her going, who the hell is that? But okay, that's it. Arthur O'Connell was the chaplain that that what's his name goes to, that Gene Hackman goes to, and is trying to say, hey, you need to come with us. We can get out of here. And he's like, I can't leave these people. And Gene Hackman's, they're gonna die.
Yeah,
I can't leave them. But
it reminded me of Towering Inferno. It's like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. Okay.
Gene Hackman is a good character in this. You see his twist, his story.
Yeah.
Because he's a preacher or a priest. I'm not sure whether he's a
sounds like a priest
or a priest. I thought he was a priest.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
He's having his doubts. He is having his huge doubts. He thinks God doesn't want to help you. His thought was, God wants you to help yourself, and he might come along and help you eventually. But if you're not helping yourself, why should God help you? And that's, I think that's kind of how I think on a lot of things, but not quite to his extent. I mean, he really pushed the boundaries.
Well, he had a moment.
I think the universe wants you to help yourself. You know, that's just my thinking. But this is him pushing that moment. Like when he finally decides to learn what sacrifice is in the movie, you see it. It's almost like he clicks. Like this is what the old priest was trying to teach me.
Yeah.
This is what the old priest was trying to tell me. And you just see his character go from one thing to another. Like he gets it. He gets why people help each other. He gets why people are the way they are. It's a good character arc. And I would have to say him playing Popeye Doyle was probably the only better thing at this time period that I had seen him in.
Yeah.
This Popeye, when he was Connection.
Right. I hadn't seen this since I was very young. I didn't remember who was in it.
No, neither did I.
When I saw this and just Gene Hackman, Shelley Winters, and just everybody else, I know I'm leaving names off. Everybody delivered such a great performance. This is a cool fucking movie. Dude, I'm going to gush about this. I absolutely love this fucking movie. The effects are great. Oh my God, just showing that ship turn over and how they did it on the
Oh my
inside.
God, the
It was,
stunts.
oh, it was, there's so much good here. Here's the thing. I think when they decided to do Towering Inferno after this, they went, of course, bigger and more.
Yeah, yeah,
but the story blew up more.
yeah.
This is much tighter. This is a smaller area. You've got smaller group of people, and I don't feel like we're being distracted from the main thing. It locks us on to
It
about
did
10
feel
to 12
tighter.
people.
It
Yeah, it's
felt like
much
a much
tighter.
tighter told story, which I
Yeah.
thought was shocking because it came before Towering Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
But this story is a good solid. If you want to see an adventure slash disaster movie, this is a good movie.
Oh,
They
fuck yeah.
redid
This is
this
amazing.
movie, and I think it's just called Poseidon. I think, and it was done in 2005, 2006, and I watched it once with the old lady, probably on Netflix, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And it was, if I remember correctly, it was a pretty good remake, if I remember correctly.
Well, the story's good. If somebody, you can do anything with this. They wouldn't even have to stick to the same story. I like
Right.
the whole, there's something, this is a genre of claustrophobic movies for me.
Right. Yeah.
There's a couple that come to mind, The Descent and The Descent 2, about a group of female spelunkers in some caves, and they run across some cannibalistic humanoid things, and it's so scary because it's so intense. Small areas. Aliens 4, when they're trying to get out of where they're having to swim, and everything. It's just all this feeling of claustrophobia that these movies do so well. And this one to me is just, you can tell the story anywhere. In fact, it's told over and over, but, I haven't seen any remakes, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just going with it.
The story itself is such a solid story of people trying to survive. You could literally take this, put it into space on a spaceship cruiser, have it smash into something, and the people have to get to the back of the ship because everything's closing down or shutting, and they have to get past doors or whatever. And it would be the exact same story in almost the exact same way. And everything, the ship's upside down and your gravity well's fucked up. Whatever you want to do to flip it over and make sure everybody realizes, oh, this is a Poseidon Adventure remake.
Yeah.
But it's in space. And a couple of the people are aliens. How interesting would that be? Because then you'd have the alien point of view on everything. And you could very easily make whatever point you want to make if there's a point to be made.
It's a good formula.
Alive.
Yeah, it's a good formula for a great adventure story. This worked really well, and it's not that it's just a good story. You had the performances that really brought this. I believed it. I was sucked in. I started watching early yesterday. It's like, all right, I'm just going to sit down for an hour, watch the first hour. I'll go do some things, some chores, and then I'll come back to it. No, I sat down and finished the whole damn thing because I couldn't walk away from it. It's like, that's it. We're in. It's, and
it gets you in really quick. The models were really impressive in this.
They were really done really well.
They had a nice full-size ship model, not a full-size because we're not scale, a scale model of the Poseidon. It's obviously in a wave tank.
Yeah.
But I was looking at those waves, man, and I'm like, that must have been a really big model in a really big tank because those waves were looking pretty good.
What I was thinking of when I saw that is, I was like, wow, that's a really cool model. One of the shows I frequently watch is Deadliest Catch, about the crabbers, the crab fishermen in Alaska.
I thought you said the crappers at first.
The crappers and crabbers, man.
That's what that's about.
Yeah, it's about catching craps, man. But the stuff that Discovery Network does with filming these ships and hurricane conditions and the giant waves and everything, it's like if they were to redo this movie now, I would say spend the budget, send a ship out and go into a damn storm and film that shit.
Right.
Because it was pretty good. What they did with the models was really done well, man.
I was shocked. And then because they do the water shot too, where as the Poseidon starts tipping, you're underwater looking at it while it tips. And I'm just amazed at that model work. And then the explosions that they're showing you underwater. when
Yeah.
something's blowing up, you're underwater looking at the Poseidon and you can see the flashes of light all over, and you're like, holy crap, I would hate to be on that boat. I would hate that. That would be like one of my worst nightmares. I don't know if I'd be, I don't know if I'd freeze up in that situation or not. I'd like to think that I'd be like, at least like Ernest Borgnine, like, let's go, let's get the hell out of here kind of thing. But,
He's a good character, you know.
yeah.
I can see people getting really irritated with him, but
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
he just it was who he was, man.
Yeah, he's an ex-cop, and that's
Yeah,
New York cop.
and it
So
shows. It
he's not going
shows,
to
man.
be, he's not going to be Mister, here, let's all have a latte. No, he's not going to be
No,
that guy. He's going to be
no, he's
like,
going to make a decision, right or wrong, and
yeah,
he
and
just
stick with it.
wants something happening, you know.
Yeah, he just wants to be moving.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was nice to see him try and save. Spoiler again: Roddy McDowell's character dies. He's, I think, the first one to die. I think he's the first one to buy it.
yeah,
When he
real
goes
early.
off the edge down the chute. Well, at least Ernest Borgnine jumps
He
right in.
jumped
He
right
doesn't even
in.
think twice.
No.
His character does not think twice. He just jumps in to go after him, and he tries. I think at one point he almost has him up out of the water, and then like another explosion
Yeah,
happens, and he's racked, and he drops him again. And it's like you're like, son of a bitch, man. That
yeah,
sucks. That sucks. But there, you said it. There's a lot of claustrophobic moments when they're going through
a lot.
the air shaft. The acting. There's not a bad actor in this movie.
If there is, I
I,
didn't see it.
I honestly can't say that there's the little boy I thought was going to get on my nerves real quick, but he
Right, but
didn't.
he grew on me real quick.
Yeah, he doesn't get on your nerves. They very easily could have written him to be a real pest.
Yeah,
But it's funny because he's trying to interrupt at one point. Ernest Borgnine's saying something, and the kid's like, "No, if we go back." He's the one who says, "If we go to the back of the ship where the propeller room's at, the metal's thinner there."
yeah,
And he doesn't, Ernest Borgnine doesn't want to hear it. And
no,
finally, Gene Hackman tells him, shut up. What are you saying? Little kid, what
yeah,
is that? And he tells him, he's like, how do you know this? And he's the only one asking the kid, well, how do you know? Well, why is that a better place? And the kid says, well, because the engineer took me on the tour yesterday. Well, actually, what the kid had done is snuck down, got
yeah,
caught, and
yeah.
then got taken on a tour.
Because of course he
which,
did.
which is always fun. But I thought that was really cool. Like, okay, this is why the kid knows it. They've established that he's reading all the books on this ship. They've established that he's gone on a tour and he's asked all the right questions. He's asked every little kid question. How thick is that steel? Where does that engine go? Where does
Yeah,
it? He's asked all the questions, like you
and he's
said.
retained it.
I knew about World War II fighters. I knew about
Mhm.
dinosaurs. You could have dropped me in World War II when I was 10 or 12 years old. I probably could have helped fucking fix a Spitfire. Now I can barely change my own oil.
Right?
And God forbid, don't ask me to do anything technical. But when I was 10 or 12, I could have probably helped out.
Yeah.
And dinosaurs, dropped me in Jurassic Park. I would have been the little dinosaur nerd from the Jurassic Park movie when I was that age. I would just,
And I would know you don't run with heels.
yeah, yeah, I didn't learn that until I was 12.
I know it caused great confusion.
Yes,
Early
my
age.
sisters kept trying to dress me up like a little girl, but that's my own cross to bear. And I looked fabulous.
Of course you did. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't with my curly hair? Not
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
where I was going with that.
So I really love this movie. It had a
So,
lot of great moments.
yeah,
I'm still in shock at how much I love this movie. This is one that I am pissed off that I rented and not purchased. So
I
I
am.
always hate when that happens.
This is how I know how great I think this movie is. I didn't take any notes.
Yeah.
The old lady looked over at me. She goes, "You're not taking any notes." I said, "I can't take my eyes off this.
No, I was the same
This
way.
is
It's like
going
no.
in different directions." And there were times when, like I said, I'd only seen the movie maybe once or twice growing up too. I didn't remember any of the movie, so it was all new to me. So people living and dying was a shock. Like there was at least two big shocks in that movie. Two people that I would have thought would have lived through the end to the end
Mm-hmm.
didn't, and I was like completely fucking shocked at that. Like, why would you kill that person right now? They're right there.
I know.
All they have to do is open the fucking door and walk through.
He gave his life, and we are referring to Gene Hackman's character.
Yeah.
I'm upset that they got to the finish line and he had to sacrifice himself, but it was part of his arc, and it wouldn't have been as meaningful if we wouldn't have had that whole buildup, even all the way down to his sermon. They did a good job writing this to where I understood where everybody was coming from, and their little backstories were done so fucking well.
With such limited time before the action starts.
God, it's almost boom right away.
Yeah, you knew who the kids were. You knew who the adults were in the situation that they were in. You knew kind of what was going to happen. You knew they were going to come together somehow. You just didn't know how.
I do have one negative, and it's a comical negative. There's a scene they're at the New Year's Eve party before there's any trouble with the ship, before the wave hits. And the band is playing a really slow song, but and the camera's way up looking down. If you look at the I want to call it the mosh pit, but the little dance floor, people are going crazy. They're moving really fast, way out of sync. It is the whitest fucking dance I think I've ever seen. So that's, other than that, it's like, oh, you missed that one, but that's nitpicking. It's like, whatever. I understand.
Well, the song that the lady Lindley is singing was it a Carpenter's hit, or was it?
It sounded like a Carpenter's tune. It sure reminded me of a Carpenter's
tune. Or another female vocalist at the time, but it was a huge song. Like, I remember that song from.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know if that was a made-for-movie song. So.
But that's just it. I don't know if this movie is why it got popular, or if it was already popular, so they put it in the movie. That's my only real question. Like, it's The Morning After, I think, is the name. Yeah. Is the name of the song, I think. But it's if that's her singing in real life, she's got a good voice.
It cracked me up because one of the workers on the cruise ship was bitching about this music like it was like our parents bitched about heavy metal, and it's like
it was punk rock or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, come on now.
Like, dude, this isn't even hippie music. It's pretty mellow. It was more mellow than Neil Diamond would have ever dreamed of being. You know, it was very
there's another negative. Mellow. They didn't have Neil Diamond on the ship.
Well, they should have, because he would have saved the day. Back then, he would have had the blue jeans, the bell-bottom blue jeans, the long hair. Yeah. Brother Loves Traveling Salvation Show.
There we go, man. There we go. See, you can put Neil Diamond in any movie and it's going to work. I'm telling you.
That's right, no matter whether anybody likes it or not. The stunts, they went for a lot of water in this movie, of course, because you're in a sinking ship. But the fire, again, a lot of water, a lot of fire. Irwin Allen, man, he knows what he likes, and by God, he's going to get it in a movie.
He did.
The stunt, one of my favorite stunts, and I remember watching this as a kid, and they showed how they did it as a kid. The guy falling from what was the floor, but is now the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
He falls through and hits the light fixture, and he just falls right through it. They said they had to film that twice.
Oh.
And both times the guy nailed it. It was just, I think, Irwin Allen wanting just to make sure kind of shot. And the stuntman was, I remember vaguely the stuntman talking about that when I was a kid, like, because they did some specials. Do you remember like Monday night or Friday night at the movies back on television?
Yeah.
Back when they used to show first run movies.
When we had 3 channels.
Yeah, when we had 3 channels in UHF. They had like CBS, ABC, NBC, and CBS all had either football or a movie night.
Yeah. And they were pretty current movies.
And they were, The Godfather. I remember 2 nights in a row, Godfather.
Yep.
I remember watching The Godfather for the first time on that. But they had like some kind of little special on there about the stunts, because they were doing like an interview with Irwin Allen. I would love to find that again. I couldn't find it on YouTube yesterday, and I was looking.
Yeah, I haven't seen any behind the scenes of it, or haven't read anything on it, but
the stunts in this whole movie. I mean, when that water comes rushing into the ballroom, that's a lot of water, dude.
Yeah, and where did we see that? They did it again in the Towering Inferno. Lots of water. It's cool. I think it's cool to see this, even though we watched the movies out of chronological order as far as
Right.
when they were made.
Right.
Just to see the influence on both of them. You can look back and you can see that where
Yeah.
they had ideas for things and kind of went the same route with it. Even the story is similar. It's just
Right.
changing to a different spot and it's about the survival. I just think this one was tighter. And my thoughts are, I
Yeah.
wonder if they just wanted to go so big and bring as many stars as we can and try and replicate it and miss
Mhm.
what made Poseidon so magic. Don't get me wrong. I love Tower and Inferno. I think it's an
Right.
excellent fucking movie, but I think this one is actually better.
Yeah, I think if you put them both side by side, Poseidon Adventure is the tighter movie, the better developed characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I get behind these characters better than I could, those in the Tower and Inferno. When it came
Probably
to the
can't
Tower
see her.
Inferno, it's, hey,
She's black as midnight, so I'm not sure if you can actually see her head right
no, I
there.
see you petting a
Yeah,
shadow.
a shadow. That's basically what she is, just a shadow. My little dog is so black, she just goes right into the shadow, don't you, Bobby? Good girl. Okay, that was me being nice for 2 seconds.
It's all good.
But
It's all good.
yeah, I think it's the tighter of the two stories. I think it's better developed. Even the captain, you got the captain like right away.
Yeah.
But then again, Leslie Nielsen was no schmuck when it came to being a good actor. So
Brilliant actor. I
you had to
really wanted to see more of him.
yeah, I was hoping that he wasn't going to be on the bridge when it went over.
He
Or
was. He
something,
was.
yeah, but there he is.
Everybody on
Water.
the bridge bit it right away. Um,
I'm just glad the company man did it too. The guy that kept telling him to speed up. Like, man, I swear, I just want to see a movie where the story comes together irregardless, and the captain just turns around and tells the guy to go F himself.
Kind of like Steve McQueen telling them fuckers, I'm in charge.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
a little bit more of that would have helped probably
yeah,
for the
I would have
captain.
liked to have seen that.
Yeah, when there's a
But
fight
yeah,
in this building, nobody outranks me.
that
It's a good
character,
scene.
that that character, not the actor, but that actual archetype of character is in so many movies.
Right,
And I'm going to bring Aliens up again. James Cameron, second Aliens with Paul
right.
Reiser, being the
Oh,
company man. I'm going to get this species home no matter what.
such a little douchebag.
Oh
He
yeah.
plays such a douchebag in that movie.
Oh,
Such
it's
a
so
good
good.
character to play too.
Yeah.
And I think I would love to play characters like that. I would love to be just the guy, do like 5 or 6 movies where you're just a complete, utter douchebag. So whenever you walk on stage, everybody knows you're the bad guy. They're just going to find out what it is. And then like your 5th or 7th movie, when everybody's used to you being the bad guy, turn around and play the good guy.
Well, it's like you remember when Robin Williams had done so many comedy movies, and
Yeah,
then when he did something serious, people were like, "Oh, he can act." Bitch, he
yeah,
can act all along. But it's like it's that thing. You get it in your head. This is the
yeah,
only thing they can do.
yeah.
Uh,
See, that's what I'd love to do that and do like some kind of stupid romantic comedy. That would be, that'd be fun and stupid.
as somebody who's had the pleasure of playing psychotic people in movies,
Right,
it is a lot of fun to try and find the humanity in them and find out what
right,
makes them tick. And as an actor, I try and find that character inside of me.
right. No,
Meaning,
I get it.
how would I act in that situation? What part of me would I really go that far? And I'm like,
Mhm.
I could.
Yeah,
So you
I
have
can
to,
see that. Yeah,
yeah. So you look at that, and I love characters that you hate.
hmm
Because if I hate
yeah,
you on screen, I think you're doing a wonderful fucking job.
yeah.
So
Well, Willem Dafoe used to be that guy.
yes,
He'd always play a bad guy. And
yeah,
I remember watching him the first time I ever actually saw him smile. He was on a late night talk show. I forgot which one, but he was telling a story and he got this huge Joker like smile on his face, but it was absolutely pure joy, whatever he was talking about. And I remember laughing, going, oh my God, the guy can smile. I had never seen him in a movie where I didn't look at him and go, he's the bad guy. Willem Dafoe plays the villain. That's all he can play. And then he started playing good characters every once in a while. Like a good guy, he throws him in there every once in a while. He still does.
yeah,
Still occasionally a good guy. Because now you don't know. Now you don't know
yeah.
when he's on screen. You're like, is he going to be the good guy in this one or the bad guy? I don't know anything about this movie. What's happening? And that was good about Gene Hackman because I've seen him play good guys, and he played good guy, tough guys for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd every once in a while throw in the bad guy, and you're like,
Yeah.
wait, Gene, you're not supposed to be the bad guy. You know, Ernest Borgnine was the same way. He would play the
Yeah.
good guy and the bad guy. Like for the longest time, he was the bad guy in Heavy in movies, and
Yeah.
then he did the series, the McHale's Navy series. He came out of
That's
that,
right.
and he'd start doing nice guy stuff every once in a while, and he'd still like to play the bad guy. So it was really,
Yeah.
it was interesting to see his character in this, which was unlike anything I'd ever seen. I mean, I had seen him play a tough guy. I think he was in what is the Sinatra movie, From Here to Eternity? I think he's in From Here to Eternity too, and that's he plays a sergeant in that, and he's a good actor. That guy had some solid chops, no lie.
He did. What I'd like to see is just because even though we saw very little of it, his character in this movie, along with the actress who played his wife,
Right.
dude, there is a romantic comedy behind their story.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, I may have to write this, but that's like, my God, that's great.
And you have
It's
to
great.
have them flying instead of taking the tickets to it has to be
Yeah,
like another universe.
another universe.
They
Yeah.
don't go on the Poseidon.
This time, oh, I know. This time there's snakes on the plane. Shit, that's been done.
Good thing we flew, honey.
Yeah.
There's snakes on the plane. I've
Okay.
never seen
Just
that
just a
movie.
shout out. I love snakes on a plane. I'm just saying, great
I've
fucking movie,
never seen it. I have no idea what it's about other than Samuel L. Jackson saying, "There's motherfucking snakes on this plane."
dude. Dude, Samuel L. Jackson, snakes, plane. I'm there. Samuel L. Jackson reading the phone book. I'm there, man.
Yeah, right.
Motherfucking John Smith. Yeah. I'm good.
555 motherfucking 55.
Yeah, say it one more time,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
say it
Yeah.
one more time. Read that address one more time.
But okay,
Very good.
final thoughts on Poseidon Adventure, Dave.
Uh, Man, solid storytelling. The effects, especially for the day, are really good.
Oh God, yes.
All the in-camera effects, the explosions, the water, the stunts. I couldn't tell you how many stunt people they had in this because back in the day, you'd see maybe one or two stunt people's names, and that's about it, if you saw any.
Mhm.
So I have no idea. I imagine it was an army of stuntmen and stuntwomen
Yeah,
in this
there's a
movie,
lot of
just like
stunts in
in
this.
Towering Inferno.
Oh yeah,
If you liked Towering Inferno, I believe you will like this movie even better. Because, like
I think
Scott
so.
said, he pointed out, it's a tighter script. It's a smaller cast. They had a lot of people initially, but after the
Man,
ship
they're going fast.
after the ship sinks and everybody dies, that cast gets really small and tight.
We're
And
down to
but
about a dozen.
yeah, right. Character development is spot on. There are surprises of who dies and who lives.
Mhm.
If you think
We've
somebody's
spoiled
going to
most
make
of
it,
that.
they don't. If you don't think somebody's going to make it, they do. I thoroughly enjoy this movie. This is a solid Irwin Allen. I mean, it's an Irwin
Yeah,
Allen flick. I mean, that guy was all about the disaster, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this flick. Again, I didn't
Yeah,
expect to like it as much. I thought, oh, okay, I love the '70s movies. I like seeing
right.
the set pieces, but this is pretty much timeless. The reason it works is because it is using miniatures, no
Mhm.
CGI, all in camera. You know, there's some superimposing and stuff going on, but it's done really
Yeah,
well, and it holds up really well. It still works. And just
works
the
really
acting is
well
phenomenal.
too.
Yeah, it works great. And that's, we've said this on damn near every episode. Give us miniatures, stop motion animation. The stuff
Yeah.
holds because it doesn't really advance like computer graphics do.
Hmm.
One day they look great. 10 years from now, it's like, I used to think that looked good
Yeah,
because something better comes along and it's exponentially better. And it's just,
I agree with that.
it doesn't hold.
Just real quick, the same guys who did Towering Inferno did Poseidon Adventure. Sterling Silliphant, the
Hmm.
writer of Towering Inferno, had two other guys helping him, Paul Gallico and Wendell Mays. I don't know how much Mays gets actual credit because his name wasn't on. I don't think his name was on the credits rolling. I think Gallico's was. So Mays maybe came in, and said, "Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" But
which is common in a lot of screenplays.
I'm still just amazed that this is such a tight script with the exact same guys doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean?
They
got a formula down. I think if given time, we could have done this on a train, on a plane, like we did in a skyscraper,
in a mouse.
It works. This is a fun movie.
Really well. Good acting. I don't think you'll be depressed about watching it. I really don't. I recommend it.
I don't regret it one bit. It's rare. This is way up there on the movies we watched, man. This is great fucking movie. That's my review on it. And Dave agrees. Wow. Hey, we got us a good one. Now we are going to travel into the macabre and go dark and crazy with Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. One of my all-time favorite movies, hands down. I love this movie so damn much. I'm very biased. I'm hoping you enjoy the ride, Dave, because you're in for one.
I've never watched a Rob Zombie movie, to the best of my knowledge. I don't think I've ever seen one. I've heard some of
2 words, Dr. Satan.
Dr. Satan. I know that it was a movie called Dr. Satan.
Right.
And the first Dr. Satan was Bogey, if I remember correctly.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and then the second they did a remake, and it wasn't him. But
one of the things I want you to one of these things I think you're going to like is seeing Sid Haig in a very psychotic role. It's great. So,
Spider Baby. Spider Baby had to be one of his first roles. Folks, if you
he was so young there.
If you haven't seen, if you know who Sid Haig is and you are a fan of Sid Haig, but you've never heard or seen Spider Baby, I highly recommend Spider Baby.
Oh my God, yes.
It's a bad movie,
but it's so
good movie, and it sets up. I think you and I even mentioned it in the show in our review that it sets up the framework for so many other movies.
It does.
So many other horror slasher type movies. I mean, that you can almost see people that did movies in the 70s and 80s looking at Spider Baby and going, that's how you do it. That's how you do creepy. That's how you do weird, fun, but fun creepy. You know what I mean?
You're gonna see that in House of a Thousand Corpses. A lot to me. I see a lot of callbacks and throwbacks to old movies and little things and just little quirks and stuff. And it makes the movie campy, cheesy, and wonderful.
I love that. We might have to go see the Munsters.
I am down for the Munsters. Absolutely. It should be coming soon.
I love the Addams Family as the series go. I love the Addams Family more. I just always thought they had a better chemistry. There was always just something like
it's a little darker. It's darker.
Yeah, I could live next door to the Addams Family and just think they were fucking great. Because honestly, I don't think you're going to get hurt in the Addams household.
No.
They may be really weird, but I don't think you're going to get yourself hurt. The Munsters, that dragon under the chair or under the steps might eat your ass.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. About Grandpa, whether he's going to bite your ass. So I'm just saying, my personal, you're going to stay the night. Well, I can sleep on the floor at the Addams Family house.
I think I'll be safe.
Not on the nails or the bricks.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so make a point to tune in next week when we take it to Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Until then, have a great week.
Have a great week.